Hello, welcome to this exhibition entitled Women of the Sahel. My name is Irene López de Castro and I am the artist. This exhibition takes place under the Spanish Presidency of the Alliance Sahel. And in this beginning of the show, we have some words, this text of Rosa Martin Tristan, that is a journalist, and we also find some other texts of women like Casa Árabe or Gouna Tiere, who is the president of the Association of Women Gouna Tiere, what means meeting. What we want with this exhibition is giving visibility to the works, the projects of these women in the north of Mali, especially in the town of Timbuktu. They have a project, and they take care of projects of sanitation and sustainable development. This portrait of Casa Árabe is at the beginning of the exhibition, and it welcomes, is painted as if she was dancing the traditional dance of Takamba that is from Timbuktu. Casa Árabe was a singer, and she was very famous. She was the first professional singer, and quite empowered, because she had to divorce his first husband, and he had to go against the will of his father, because she wanted to sing and they didn't let her to. So this wonderful singer, she helped a lot also in the peace process, because she was the daughter of a Songhai and a Tuareg, and then through the music, the people in Mali, they get very close. Well, that's the effect of music in everywhere, no? And that's why I wanted to put it here to welcome and to tell how women can also help so much in our society. These portraits of the women of the Association Gouna Tiere of Timbuktu are the soul of the exhibition. Before the lockdown last year, I was preparing this exhibition, but for Barcelona, for the Real Circular Artistic, with the help of Grant Wilhelm. I wanted to take me there, and the Institute of Catalonia Africa. And we had to stop all the project, and during those 3 months I had nothing but some material at home, and I had these wood pieces, and I asked my friend Gouna Tiere, the president of Gouna Tiere, could you please send me some pictures, even in WhatsApp, doesn't matter, because I don't really copy a photograph. What I do is inspire myself with an image. So she sent me some pics of the women, and I chose those that were dressed in the most traditional way, because I really think that art can help also to keep the way, their culture. As you know, in the Sahel, there is a big problem with the jihadism, but also with the Wahhabism. And that worries me a lot, because women in Mali have been always dressed in colors, and they don't cover their faces. So as it is not her tradition, and in order to help them also to feel beautiful and proud of their culture, I always paint what is of them. Then these pieces of wood are not ordinary pieces. They come from Africa. They come. I think these are coming from Mali. I bought them there. I ordered them because this kind of dimension, this shape is something that they make to write, as it was like a board, like a paper, no? They use it in the Quranic schools, and they also use this kind of woods in the Christian places, very old ones in Ethiopia. So it is something used usually to write the word of God. And what I was feeling is I like to paint some portraits of women, because this shape that is inspired in the laws of God given by Moses. This is why this shape is from that. Can be a very good support to represent the soul of people. What is more sacred than the soul of a son of God? No? And here we have Gouna Tiere, my friend and the president of Gouna Tiere. I've been in Hawa's house and the Haidara house, that's the family, 5 times there. Timbuktu. She invited me, and we were very, very friends. I'm a member of the association, and I just help them to give them some visibility through these paintings. And these are some of the women. And we have a young girl there that you can see the proudness of her in her eyes. I think she's quite ready for life. I found my inspiration in Mali 30 years ago. I was very young. I was just 21 years old, and I was a student of the 3rd year of Fine Arts in Madrid. I had a proposal to go with a couple of friends and that were working in an ONG. And they were going to make a trip by the river, on the river in a boat, in the big boat that is called, from Kulikoro to Gao. So what I wanted to go, why did I go to Mali? Well, I went because I wanted to go and visit Timbuktu and meet the Tuareg people. Just those 2 words. My friends, my artist friends in Mali were very important because this friendship has lasted all my life, but also because they introduced me in an African technique called bogolan. It's a local technique that where people used natural dyes, and they from some plants, and they use a special mud or that takes from the river Niger. This technique, well, I have here something made with bogolan. You can see here, this is a bogolan. Well, in the other place you can see where it has been dyed with vegetal dyeing, and then with the mud they touch here, and then when they take off the mud it turns black. This kind of painting is a very, very, very old technique, and it was invented by women of Mali. At this same moment, I'm having another exhibition in Casa Árabe, and there I am the curator. It is called The Heritage of the Bogolan Fini, the legacy of the women of Mali. And it's about this. We tell the story of the origin and then the evolution through the artists that at the 80 years now, 1980, they decided to use that same technique to make contemporary art. Then, well, at the end, I have introduced the same technique in my paintings, but not very I just made it. I have introduced the same technique, but making a fusion with my own technique that is made with natural pigments and artisanal acrylics. This is a traditional painting from my style. The difference is that I mix with the other. We'll see another painting. This is not made with Bogolan, okay? But this is my inspiration in Mali. At the end, when I came back from Mali the first time, I was already in love with the river Niger. I wanted to go back and see that river again. When I in my studio, I let myself fly with my inspiration. So I don't reproduce just what I saw. For example, this was going to be, at the beginning, I wanted to paint a night by the river. As you can see, there's no night, and at the end there was this boat coming and the dune, and well, then I could see is an inspiration of the north, of the river in the north. That was the part that maybe impressed me most, because the dunes and the river together is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. These sketchbooks that we have here exposed, they have been drawn in several places. Each one is from one travel, and they are from Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. I appreciate very much this my travel sketchbooks because they have many histories, and some of them can inspire me in one of the paintings. For example, we have that Pinas, or the boat, the kind of typical boat of the river Niger, and I love them from the first trip. In that first trip to Timbuktu, we made the way back in a car, and we had to stop to stay and wait for the boat that could take the car to the other side of the river during one hour or something, and then I drove that little boat. You can't imagine how important was that for me, because it was just after that little drawing that I could paint quite what I wanted to paint of those boats in my own paintings. This painting is called Sankoré, and it was chosen the last exhibition as the main painting of the show, because it has a lot of meaning when we talk about women of the Sahel. The Sankoré Mosque and the university, they were very, very important in the 15th century in Timbuktu. In Timbuktu there are 3 important mosques, and there is a lot of connection also with Spain, because the first one is that is called Gingerbread, was made by a Saheli that was a Spanish, well, it wasn't Spain yet, it was from Al-Andalus, Andalusia, and he worked in the Alhambra, and he was also a poet, and he went to La Mecca. He found there the Mansa Musa, Kankan Musa, the super rich king that made his pilgrimage to La Mecca, and he gave so much gold on his way that the price of gold lost its value during 50 years. So this important king of Mali asked Saheli to come and make a palace or something, and he made that 3 important buildings. But Gingerbread was the first one, and it's very important for us because he was the pioneer of the Sudanese architecture. And that architecture is one of the most important tourist monuments that you can see in Mali. And so our relation between our country and Timbuktu is not as strange. This painting is made on a salt stone, the kind of stone that Tuareg people take from a place called Tisalit at the north of Timbuktu. I suppose you know, Tuareg people used to make caravans of salt, and they trade with that. No, it was the main resource. And this is just painted on a salt stone, and most of it is the stone. I just painted the center. And why it's broken is because it arrived broken, and I liked it. This painting is called The Princess of the Earth, and it is inspired in Fatoumata Choy Coulibaly, that is the daughter of one of my best friends in Mali, who died some years ago, Kanjura Coulibaly. He was the person, he and my friend Annie Turner, those are the artists I met when I was young, when I was 22, and I was living in Bamako for 2 months. And they introduced me into the Boulan technique. This painting is painted with Boulan, with the mix I was explaining before. Most of it is Boulan, and there is a little touch of acrylic, but very little. This part is the ochre dyeing of Engalama, that is the name of the plant, and there is, you can see a sienna color, kind of root of red, that is the Mpeku, that's another plant, and with the dyeing of those plants, as I explained before, they use some special mud of Mali that has a lot of iron in the composition, and it reacts with the dyeing in the back. Then this black that you see, this dark part of the painting, is not an acrylic, it's not oil, it is Bogolan, that is this time. That's made with mud, but the mud is not there anymore, because when you paint, you have to take it off. And because otherwise there is no, in all the paints you have something that can glue, no, with the pigment and the oil. You have the oil and the acrylics, they have some acrylics resins, but in this Boulan, the only thing is the reaction. That's why we can see the color, because there was a reaction between what we put the mud and the back. And then the only thing that is acrylics is just a little bit of pink here, and this I used a little bit because I want to make a mix. It's not just one Bogolan, pure Bogolan, no? That's the story of this painting. Here in this part of the exhibition, we have some photographs that are from journalists that went to Timbuktu. That's called the EU for Africa. They let us these pictures, and as I said, Gouna Tiere means meeting, because they are women from different ethnies in Mali. That's why it is important also for the peace process, because they are working together to make better their families and looking for something positive, and they also have their families, and they can talk to their husbands and brothers and sons, and if they agree and they have something in common, they can also transmit that to the husband. So it is here we have some pictures of them with one of the machines they got to burn the plastic, because now they don't have to burn it as before. It is very toxic, and now it's very good that they have this machine, and they are looking for another one to make small pieces of plastic so that they can use that one, because now they are using scissors. And these women have cleaned the town, and over 15 tons of plastics they have taken from the streets. They make different things with them. They make art crafts. No, you have some of that, and also bricks, and also art, because this is a sculpture. Inside there is plastic, and outside is a sculpture. This is made with a sculpture called Haruna. I think it's Haruna. This one is Gouna Tiere, and so it's. They are always making things, making better, trying to make better their lives.